Mr. Mohammed Abbasi, you are an international political commentator. I want to get to a very important question. How are international global players perceiving Pakistan's peace mediation efforts?
Well, the global perception of Pakistan's peace efforts, the international community currently perceives, by the way, when I talk about international community, it's not just the US or the UK, it's or a lot, basically everyone, most countries. They currently perceive Pakistan as a stabilizing bridge, not just a regional player now. We have to understand that the perception internationally has changed. There are three primary lenses through which global players and viewers are seeing these efforts of Pakistan. The first one we're looking at is the broker status. It's following the announcement of the Islamabad Accord or the Islamabad Accords, what they will be in a few days' time, and the temporary ceasefire between the United States and Iran. Capitals, surprisingly, especially Western capitals, have shifted their view of Pakistan, and it is being seen as a rare channel that possesses strategic equity with both the current US administration and the Iranian government. Then we're looking at the regional reliability. Amongst Gulf partners, specifically Saudi Arabia, Pakistan's role is seen as a fulfillment of the SMDA, which is the Strategic Mutual Defense Agreement, which was signed in 2025. By working to de escalate threats to energy infrastructure and shipping lanes, Pakistan has acted and is acting as a security guarantor for the brotherly interests of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. Then we look at the Chinese synergy. Then you look at the Chinese synergy, and we are looking at global players now, recognizing that Pakistan is not acting in isolation. There's a five-point initiative which, with Beijing, that signals a unified Eurasian front, which is European and an Asian front. That is sovereignty of the nation state and non-interference in each other's business within the nations. This is a message that resonates deeply with the countries that are seen as the global south, which are the majority of countries around the world. And then you can even look at the viability of a lasting peace with Chinese guarantees. And the possibility of a lasting peace has now increased significantly because the guarantor has changed. Historically, Western-led deals
Chinese guarantees, speaking of Chinese guarantees, as you just mentioned, do you perceive that Pakistan, through its mediation and China being the guarantor, do you think that there could be a lasting peace deal between the United States and Iran?
the thing is, you got to look at nations and what their interests are. Chinese interests, Pakistani interests, Iranian interests, interests of countries are different wherever you go. What we need is between the Americans and the Iranians, with Chinese being the guarantor, and other nations being the guarantor, and it's being held in Pakistan, is we need an honest discussion what those interests are and how we can kind of sift or shift ideas and perceptions of each other in a way where the majority of those interests can between nations. So it's really um, about the guarantor even. It's about interests. And Chinese economic weight is increasing around the world. And Chinese role as the primary buyer of Iranian oil and a major investor in Pakistan infrastructure, which is CPEC, provides a kind of a stick and carrot that previous mediators lacked. So if China guarantees a deal, it implies that any party breaking the peace deal risks losing its primary economic lifeline.